Because when I first start, I don't know, well, you looked at it where, oh, here it is, stop sharing. Because what it does is show, like, I like how it's just both of our pictures when we first start is like bigger. But when we
Right,
start sharing screens, it shrinks down. So,
right.
all right, so let me go ahead. Oh, I'm already recording. Well, I can edit all this out. All right.
Yeah, or you don't. People will
Yeah.
probably enjoy
Yeah, right. See me being an
do
idiot.
bloopers.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, well, I'm gonna leave that in bloopers. Yeah, I'm being an idiot before. I didn't realize I was recording, but anyway, hey everyone, welcome. This is Trader Travis, and I have my Success Academy co-trainer Peter. We are here to, oh gosh, give me one sec, everyone.
This
Me, I
conference will now
of
be
all the things
recorded.
I checked. I turned my phone down. I locked the dog away in the room. I forgot to turn the air off, and it's super loud. So
Oh,
anyway. So I'm back. We are here with our little huddle, our weekly huddle here to kind of go over our trades. I'm going to actually place more trades today. And for time's sake, let me go ahead and hit my timer and I will ramble on for a little bit here because what I want to do is apologize. I dropped the ball last week, our last weekly recap. I released it late. As a matter of fact, I released it yesterday, and we're doing another weekly recap today. The reason I dropped the ball is because I severely underestimated how much work it would take to kind of deal with my mom's estate planning or help with her affairs since my stepdad recently passed away. And so for all the people, I wanted to say, for all the people who takes care of an elderly parent, my hat goes off to you because it is like taking care of a grown kid, and you have checklist after checklist after checklist in your head, and there's always something else coming up, another surprise being added to the list. And Peter pointed it out how he was like, your mom's so lucky that you have the time to do this. I'm like, yeah, I have this free time. I have the schedule. Even my wife said it. I took care in a week. I work long days, but I took care in a week what would probably take most people a year because I mean, your days off aren't days off. Your days off are sitting on hold, taking your parent around to pay her bills or get stuff sorted out, being added to the account. So my heart goes out to you for those of you doing that in still working full-time corporate jobs. So that is another reason to possibly make financial independence or financial freedom a top priority. People just think money, 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 my life would get easier, but they never think how it can benefit you. Like I didn't know I thought my mom would pass before my dad because she's the circle one, but I didn't know he would pass away. So, this time now I have the free time because of financial independence to fly across the country, take care of a lot of things within a week, schedule appointments, insurance claims, and all this other stuff. When most people are trying to do it and squeezing in on their days off. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. I wanted to apologize for posting that video late. Tell you my hat goes off to you for who are taking care of elderly parents. And if you're overwhelmed, think of it like trading. We talk about a 15-minute success plan. You think of all the things you have to do. I have to learn trading. I got to watch all these videos. I got to learn my broker platform. You get overwhelmed. Don't think of everything you have to do in its entirety. You have to think baby steps. For trading, we talk about a 15-minute success plan. Success plan. Just commit to watching one training video a day for 15 minutes. And so you tackle your task in bite-sized chunks and it doesn't seem so overwhelming. So with that tip for the day, let me go ahead and show you my screen here. And I'm going to actually play some trades. I won't cover my previous stocks we talked about in the previous weeks. Peter, can you see my broker
I
platform?
can. Yep.
All right. So I won't cover the stocks I've talked about in the previous weeks. This will give you a chance to go back and look at our old recaps. So what I'm going to do today is kind of walk you through, again, the 10-minute trader, 10-minute option trader theme, how I'm a 10-minute trader. I keep the same basket of stocks I trade. What I'm going to do is walk through my sifting process, one of the sifting processes I have. So Market Club is a third-party software I use. It tells you when to get in and out of stock trades. Target is not a new signal. It didn't give a new entry signal. It actually gave a signal a year ago to get into this stock. And if you look at what it's done in a year, it's actually gone up pretty well. All right. So they profiled it the other day though. So I was like, okay, let me take a look at it. And we look over here to the right side, the bottom right of my charts, and you see a volume spike. That's not me. You know, that is millions of dollars, millions of shares of an $87 stock being bought or sold. So that is institutional money getting into that stock. And so when that happens, it pushes the stock up. So what I like to do is just kind of piggyback and ride that wave and benefit from it. So I see that the stock looks good. It satisfies, you know, the templates I look at. So then what I do is I come here to the option chain, and it's more of a sifting process. I'm like, okay, you know, does it have decent options? You know, decent price options, decent open interest. And, you know, from there, the stock is going up. And so you have a basket of strategies where I can make money if a stock goes up in price. You literally, it's personal preference, pros and cons. You just pick a strategy. It doesn't matter what strategy it is. You're going to make money. People get caught up. Well, should I do a cash secured put? Should I do a bullish credit spread? Should I do a call option? And that's, you know, nerdy terms, but those are just terms of strategies you use to make money when the stock goes up. My thing is, doesn't matter, just pick one. Over time, you can kind of find your rhythm and what you like. Sometimes there are nuances, you know, but for the most part, I'm a take action kind of guy. I'm always biased towards whatever's gonna get you to take action the quickest, pick that, you know, instead of getting caught up in analysis paralysis and all that other stuff. So what I'm gonna just look at real quick, and let's say a call option, right? These are the ones where you make 50 to 100% return in a matter of days or weeks. So I'm going to pick a call option for this just for some example purposes. The stock is at 86. So I'm going to pick one that's out of the money, a little bit where the stock needs to go up a little bit more to reach this $90 price level. But the reason I'm picking it is because it's $3.80 or $380. When you're trading options, you always have to multiply the quoted price by 100 to get the true cost. So this is 380, and actually this is a bigger account. So I am going to, let's do this, 380, and let's do 2 contracts here. This is one of my model accounts I teach in. So in total, I'm going to invest $760. All right. So I wait for that order to get filled. And what we will do is we will profile that or follow that along. I'm going to piggyback on Peter now. Peter is trading NVIDIA, is a stock he's following. So I'm going to piggyback him, but just in a different approach. I'm going to do something I've taught Success Academy members is a bonus for those who watched our bonus training last December, Price Point Profits. You got a good treat there. Those who didn't, you missed out. So anyway, that bonus was only probably going to be released once a year. So NVIDIA, same thing. You look to the right, see a volume spike here, see the stock taking off. So it's theory. We don't know if the stock will go higher or crash. We don't know. All we can do is trade what we see. I see a volume spike. I see the stock starting to go higher. You know, it's signaling me, and you can see the same things on Market Club. You know, I'm not even pulling up Market Club, but this is what the trade triangles do. They spot this kind of movement before everyone else does. So I'm going to piggyback on Peter and one of his stocks and trade NVIDIA. This time I'm going to do a variation of the Buffett strategy. The Buffett strategy is where you sell stock insurance to other people, you insure other people's portfolios. The lower risk version is where you insure someone else's portfolio, but you also buy insurance for yourself, right? So you don't have to pay out $100,000 claim. Maybe you'll pay out, I don't know, a $2,000 claim because you had insurance to back you up. All right, I can't explain that really quick in these short recap videos, and because I'm on a timer here, my timer stopped. Oh, I have 3 more minutes. So let me go ahead and place these trades real quick. I've already looked here. I want to do, I'll try to do 10 contracts each, and I'll show you a quicker way to do that next time instead of hitting that button. I'm looking for max loss about 1,500. Okay, so that's a max loss I can deal with in this account. Now, I'm not going to explain why I'm doing this. It's sort of like what I did with QQQ, and I actually will end with QQQ. So instead of clicking that button, I'm just going to go ahead and type 10 here. And that is a quicker way for me to do that. That risk reward is a little bit better. It's about 50-50 there. These I don't like, and Success Academy members will probably know why I skipped that one. It has something to do about the liquidity. If I have to get out this trade, I want to be able to get out pretty quickly. And if other people aren't trading it, then I will have a trouble getting out of it. And the last one I will do is right here, and we will do 10 contracts here and go ahead and place these trades. I will let all those fill here in a second. Probably when Peter is talking, I'll make sure all those will fill. And then in the next recap, I will show you how much money I brought in there. But real quick, before I got one more minute, I just want to go over QQQ. So that's kind of the sifting process. First, I evaluate the chart, the templates I use, see how the stock is doing. Then I go to the option chain. Sometimes I found a beautiful stock. I wish I had an example. It was a stock I was just looking at. Everything worked out. But when I looked at the option chain, no options. Like no one was trading these options. So it didn't pass my filtering process. I moved on. And the last one I didn't trade right now is Lowe's. Lowe's is another one I'm adding to my list here that I may trade, but I have to look at the option chain, and I'm going to do that after we meet. But I wanted to come back here to QQQ. Those are trades I placed last week. I had some trouble placing them live, but they did wind up going through after we stopped recording. And the profit and loss, you can look down here to the bottom right of my screen. So far, profit and loss is 1,800 out of the, I think, 3,800 it brought in. And then, the way it works, that strategy is you hit your max profit up front. Like you click buttons and money shows up. You get your profit instantly. The way I trade it, I keep it. I never have to give it back. I never really take a loss per se. But the way the broker reports it is you get your max profit up front, and then each day that passes, you collect a little bit of it. They say, oh, you get to keep a little bit more of it, depending on what the stock does. So that's my quick and dirty explanation. Of course, if you're a member, we cover all of this in the Success Academy. If you have any questions, just ask inside the members area. We're there Monday through Friday, ready and willing to serve your needs. With that being said, Peter, let me turn the floor over to you so you can cover your trades. And I'm going to turn off my camera really quick, and I will be right back. All right.
So maybe I should turn mine off with when you do.
No, I'm turning mine off because I'm gonna be running around fooling around.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to distract people.
Okay. All right. So I will start my timer here. Okay. So you guys, if you just watched the other recap, Travis and I did that on Monday. So today's Friday. So it's 4 days later. If you guys remember, I had my revenue at 750. So I did a few adjustments based on what we talked about on Monday. And I brought in a little bit more revenue. So my weekly revenue this week now is 1,044. So my total revenue is up to 8,500. And for those of you that this is the first time watching one of these recaps, that $8,500 revenue is with a $5,100 loss because I made a major mistake on VXX. So imagine if I wasn't a bonehead, how much that revenue would have been. But my average weekly revenue is about 945. That's below my target basis. I want to be a little higher. So I just need to be a little bit more aggressive. I'm being fairly conservative. But I did increase my return on investment this week. It was, if you remember, if you look at Monday's recap, I was at 3.3%. Today I'm at 0.43%. That doesn't seem like a lot, but just to give you an idea, if you had, if you put the same size, let's say $10,000 in a savings account, your weekly revenue on that would be less than that. It would be probably 0.004%. So just to give you a way of looking at it. Now, 1.73% a month, again, people might look at that and say, that's not that much. That's increased my annual return on investment to 20.79. And I put some numbers down in the bottom because I'm basing this off of an account similar to that size. So if I continue to do that, I'll take 200,000, turn it into $500,000 in 5 years. And if I keep doing it and keep getting that 20%, I'll take that same 200,000 and turn it into 1.3 million in 10 years. So for me, I'll be in my 60s. That would be a nice little payday. So that just goes to show you the overall of what I've done. And then you can kind of see one other trade that's not part of my weekly revenue that is a trade I placed. I did do, because NVIDIA is something I've been trading. And when I looked at NVIDIA, let me bring up my broker's platform real quick here, because I think, let me pull it up. If you look at NVIDIA, when I was looking at this, sorry, I got to move a screen here. When I was looking at it, you could see that it pulled back right in this area. And I realize that's right around earnings. I use Earnings Whisperer to know where the company stands as its estimates, and I use a little tool that they have here. So based on that tool and trusting that tool, I knew or I felt NVIDIA was just a pullback during earnings and it was going to go back. If you look at all their earnings, they're very volatile during earnings. No matter whether they beat earnings estimates or not, you never know what the stock is going to do. But based on that, you can see the very next day it jumped up higher. And then the next day, that was kind of my trade confirmation right there. That, okay, it's going higher, it's on higher volume. So I went ahead and I placed a credit spread on one of my other accounts. So I sold 2 credit spreads there. So I generated about $234. So those expire next week, and there's probably a good chance I'm going to keep most of that credit. It's probably already at like a 50% gain because NVIDIA is up at 270, and my spread is a 260, 255, or 252. I can't see it in there. What was it? 257, 260. So the 260 is what I had to worry about. So I'm in good shape. Okay, so that's the NVIDIA credit spread I traded. Here's my broker or my IRA account where I'm trading NVIDIA on it. You can see these 2 trades here. This was after Monday's recap, so I bought these back. These things didn't expire for quite some time. But I was at a 94% return on my credit, so I'm like, I'm going to buy them back. I did, and I immediately turned back around and sold the same months, different strikes, and generated. That's where you can see where I kind of increased my revenue to another $300 or so. QQQ is going to sell out on me, so I had a covered call at 181. QQQ is hovering right around now price point, so I'll most likely get called out, which is okay. That's what I want. And when that happens, what I'll end up doing is, so right around 445, I'll go into my brokerage account. I'm sorry, 345. I'll go into my brokerage account and see where QQQ's at. Right now it's at 182, so I will most likely sell 3 more cash secured puts on QQQ for next week. I'll sell them on Friday to get a little bit more revenue. And then I'll do my other trading on Monday. So those are my trades. That's it. I'm just over my mark by 9 seconds, but that's it. Back to you, Travis.
What do you mean you're over your mark? Did you? That
I
wasn't
do 5
10
minutes. I do 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
If we both did 10 minutes, we would be 20 minutes.
You didn't say anything to me. Man,
no, because
Go
that's
ahead.
because you're the master and I'm just the student.
Oh, wow. Let me go ahead and share my webcam. I am really talking about dropping the ball. That tells you my brain has been so burnt out lately because I have so much. I literally put my timer for 10 minutes thinking I had 10 minutes, and you didn't even say anything how much. I was like, oh, I have all these few more minutes. And I was like, no, I don't. All right.
Because I enjoy listening to you, and I'm sure the members do as well, and anyone watching it do. They enjoy listening to you more than me. So
no, whatever, man.
So yeah, you said 10 minutes. I was like, that's cool. I'm sticking to my 5 because I thought it was okay.
Yeah, anyway. Okay. So probably did 5 minutes of trading, but did the other part, the family stuff. I had to throw that in there.
And just for those that watch this, you get a lot more than you would normally get. So you got bonuses for the last 2 weekly recaps. And you can thank me for that, for not saying anything to Travis.
Anyway, yeah, 5 minutes. Okay, I'm writing that down from now on. 5 minutes. I'm scatterbrained. That's a perfect example. People don't know. My wife has to write everything down because my brain will not remember. So has to be written down. So real quick, I want to point out something. I did place those trades. I'll recap everybody next week. You made a note. Most people might not have caught it, but I caught it. You said I knew it would go higher, and you caught yourself, and you changed that.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know it would go higher. I had a strong suspicion.
There you go.
And it wasn't based on any kind of, I don't have a voodoo doll or anything like that. I read Earnings Whisperer, and then just if you look at the stock, because when you trade a stock over and over again, you
Yep.
get a good feel for what it's doing. So I had a good feel that it was going to return. Now, just saying that though, I didn't jump right into my credit spread right away. I
Yeah.
waited for price confirmation per our templates that we teach when we look at something. Because if you look at NVIDIA, it meets the DMA template. I know we don't. The newer students don't sometimes know what we're talking about with the DMA template,
Mhm.
but it meets that. The 7's over the 30, the 30's above the 200, and they're both going up. I had my price confirmation. So, yeah, I don't want to always say I have a crystal ball. I knew it was going to go higher. No.
No.
I only
Yeah.
say that after the fact. I knew it was going to go higher
Yeah, right. Yeah, well,
after
no,
it goes higher.
it's a good thing because it's a mark of a successful trader because the people I see struggle, they have biases. And I wrote that email. I don't know if you read the Sunday, what is it, Serious Talk Sunday, where I talked
Mm-hmm.
about the danger of having a bias. People will get a bias and say, I know the stock market is going to fall. Like this 65-year-old guy who emailed me, of course, not a student, took his life savings and bought put options because he just knew the market would fall. Well, 10 years later, the market's still going up. So he lost everything. So you have to, so you correcting yourself is a way of showing that how you're not developing bias like some of the other people who struggle. And that's what I noticed. They develop bias. They just know Apple's going to keep going up, or they just know Netflix is, or blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You fill in the blank. But those biases will cause you to go broke. So
Yeah.
you have to always be monitoring your language, monitoring your thoughts. And so I just wanted to point that out. So I've already rambled enough. I don't know how long the recording is. It doesn't say. So, hey, everyone, we want to keep these short. We will add anything we thought about to the next recap. You all take care. It's great talking to you each week. I hope you're finding value. Anything you want us to change or add, hey, let us know in the comment section. But more importantly, take action. Post any results. You model what we're doing. Post your results below this video wherever it is posted. You take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.